Hockey. Sponsored in part by the new Dodge and your neighborhood Dodge dealer. By Old Milwaukee Beer. By Mystic Lake Casinos. By Toyota and your local Toyota dealers. By Federated Insurance. And by your Northland Ford dealer.
You're looking live at the Dane County Memorial Coliseum in Madison, Wisconsin, a place that the Badgers of the University of Wisconsin like to call home, but it has not been very friendly. Tonight they meet the Golden Gophers, and the action comes to you on Midwest Sports Channel. Hi again, everyone, along with Tom Reed. This is Frank Mazzacco. Truly an excellent game for the Golden Gophers last night, Tom, and coming up with a 3-2 victory when, again, this year, some people were starting to count them out.
You know, this team has been amazing all season long, Frank. They've been able to rise to that challenge each weekend. And just when you think they're not going to have a good game, they do. They have a great game. And last night, with solid goaltending of Jeff Callan, they led the team to victory here, and it was a big 2 points for them.
Callan certainly was a dominating force for the goaltender, for the Gophers in goal, making 18 saves in the third period alone. Meanwhile, offensively, their goal-scoring leader, Jeff Nielsen, was a big threat for them, getting his 24th, and the goal that he scored got an assist from Bianchi, who also coming up very big for Minnesota last night.
One of the players the Gophers count on is Jeff Nielsen. He has to score goals. He did that last night, scoring his 24th goal, as you mentioned. And one thing, it's a goal that gets them going as well. It's the first goal of the game. It's a goal that kind of takes some of the pressure off of the Minnesota players and gets them on the roll for period number 2.
Kelly Fairchild for the Wisconsin Badgers has been a big assist man for them. He got 2 goals last night and also got a big assist, at least on one of the goals.
Well, a couple of good breaks on both of his goals. One he threw into the net with his hand. The other, goaltender Callan, was out of the play, and so he was knocked down on that play. But nonetheless, he's also the guy they look for to get those points, and Kelly responded very well for them last night.
Of course, in a close game, there are many key plays. One of the most significant was a penalty that Brian Bonin drew, and it gave the Gophers an opportunity to snuff out a Badger power play.
You know, discipline on a hockey club is very important. Last night it was Moore who drew the penalty on Bonin. Bonin held him a little bit, and Moore responded hitting him. The bad thing was there's less than 5 minutes to go in the game, and also the Badgers were on the power play. It took them out of the power play and gave Minnesota a good edge in that situation.
The Gophers have won 5 of their last 7 games here at Madison. A win tonight would give them a pretty good grip on second place in the WCHA going into the final weekend. We'll have tonight's opening face-off right after this timeout on MSC. The Gophers were in first place, and then about an hour or so later, Colorado College completed its victory on home ice over North Dakota, so they have slipped back into first place by a point. Over Minnesota, the Gophers a point ahead of Wisconsin. Northern Michigan was a loser last night, so they sit at 31. Anchorage, a winner on home ice, is now tied with St. Cloud State. The Huskies just tonight will begin their weekend series on home ice. Kind of tight here, but as you can see, with the Gophers a point ahead of Wisconsin, a win tonight would put them 3 points up with 2 games to play. Not a mathematical lock, but pretty darn close. Now from the Dane County Memorial Coliseum, our national anthem. Some of the folks here in Madison a little bit concerned that this building hasn't had the intensity that the hockey team would like to have. The crowd was jumping last night. One person told me it was the best the crowd has been here in about 5 years, they thought. Well, tonight they will have an opportunity to look, at least statistically, at the 2 best goaltenders in the WCHA. And for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, That means Jeff Moan with a sparkling goals against average. In league play, down around 3.22, which is where things will be decided when awards are handed out. He's only won one of his last 3 starts, though.
The one thing about Jeff is he has played so well. He and Jeff Callan together have been a real stalwart back there in that goal position. You remember Jeff was in net the last time they played back in the Twin Cities. They won that overtime game, and he's been real, real strong. Last week, a little bit of a problem. Came back, was able to come back into this, and they have to forget about last weekend. They have to think about this weekend, and after last night's performance by Callan, you can bet that Jeff Moore should be at the top of his game as well.
The number 2 goaltender in terms of goals against average in league play is Jim Carey. He has seen much more action playing in nearly every game for the Badgers, while the Gophers have been alternating goaltenders.
Well, he started in the last 12, and that's a lot of pressure to put onto him. But Jeff Sauer figures he's the hot goaltender. We want first place. We want that McNaughton Cup, and so we're going to go with a hot hand, and that's the reason Jim Carey gets the call in both of these games this weekend.
He is a winner. He is a 3-time high school champion out of the state of Massachusetts. And there is a look at Doug Woog, who has got a superb record here at Madison. 10 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie.
Well, it's also amazing, Frank, when you look at the Gophers in this building, the last 7 games, 5 victories, 1 loss, and 1 tie in that stretch. And when you go on the road, especially with the rivalry between these two teams, you wonder can they even break even. But they've had a good stint of it here in Dane County Coliseum.
And there's a look at the all-time series, which dates back to the 20s, with Minnesota holding a sizable edge there, and play is underway now in Madison. Charlie Wasley back in his own end, getting it to Bianchi out at center ice. It was tipped away. Not brought in by Jamie Spencer, and he is jammed down to the ice by Chris McAlpine, and Bianchi has the puck back behind his own net. Now the Gophers with a breakout pass to center, brought in by Bianchi, taken to the wall hard by Strobel. I think Mark may have gotten more wall than he got Bianchi. And now Mark Strobel plays it to the line. Means keeps it in, then it's kicked out by Spencer. And shot deep by McAlpine, recovered by the Badgers. Strobel playing it across for Ulvis Kotloff. His long pass too far, gets through everybody. It'll be an icing call, as Max Williams had a chance at that puck but did not touch it. He's gone off on a line change. Well,
there's a look at Greg Shepard, who was the only official here last night, but Brian Ritchie did make it here. He was trapped in Detroit because of the snowstorm, spent 13 hours in the airport. 3 of his flights were delayed. He could not get here, but he is here tonight, and the other linesman will be Dan Brown for tonight's game as well.
You know, all in all, Greg, I'm sure, took a lot of ribbing about the call last night, but he has taken it quite well. He said, I blew it.
Yeah.
And I apologize. He described where his position was on it, and as we suspected, he was screened on the play a bit.
The one good thing is it didn't result in the outcome of the game. Had it done so, then there would have been a lot more controversy about it, but because it didn't, Doug Woog did talk to him. He did apologize, as you mentioned, but he just did not see it from his angle.
Now Bobby Dustin, who had a terrific game for the Gophers last night, picking up a power play goal and an assist. Jim Carey making a skate save. Gophers get the rebound. Then it's pushed into the corner by Brian Bonin and cleared by Wisconsin out at center ice. Blaine Moore trying to roll it ahead, and the Badgers will make a line change after having dumped it in. We've only played about 90 seconds here of period number 1, and there is no score. Gophers were winners last night, 3-2. What stood up to be the game-winning goal was scored by Bianchi on a power play on a tremendous roofer shot just under the crossbar. Out at center ice, it's deflected away. Now grabbed again by Granato. He feeds it ahead to Strobel. Back to Granato. That pass fails to click. Tipped in deep and chased into the corner by the defenseman Balkovec, who centers it. Wrapped away by Feeblecorn. Woog trying to get it out of the zone. Strobel behind the net. His centering pass was deflected or intercepted or both. And Moan holds on. Well, I told you how strong Doug Woog has been here in the city of Madison. Overall, in his 9-year coaching career, 10-6-1. His last 7, 5-1-1. And look at the goals for and goals against in that 7-game stretch, 27-17. And over Doug's 9 years, combined record, home and away against Madison, 31 wins, 13 losses. Our combined record against Wisconsin.
I'm sure he likes that record. At the same time, I don't think he'd want to play this team every weekend, because that record may change.
From center ice, it's a shot in and called offside by the referee Shepard. What we've got now is we've gone back to the two-referee system is that the lead referee now will be making the offside calls at the blue line going in, as opposed to when you have two linesmen, they will be making the offside calls.
Down, guys,
Tom, you and I were talking before the game. Personally, I like the two-ref system because I think it cuts down on some of the nonsense. But the way the NCAA has it set up, the referee has to be ahead of the play to make an offside call, and I don't think he's ever in really good position to make that call. He's always gliding across the blue line.
Right. It's a lot tougher in the one-referee system because the referee has to skate so much from end to end. I mean, that's a long way to skate, but all he has to worry about then at that point is the infractions taking place, not the outside of the two-line passes that they have in professional hockey and the icing.
But I know you like the one-ref system for other reasons.
I do, because if the referee is going to be bad, he's going to be bad to both teams. If he's going to be good, he's going to be good to both teams. You're going to get the consistency all the way through.
The puck left the rink, so we'll have a face-off out at center.
Plus, the other part I like about that is that if you want to get somebody back when he's not looking, then you can get the guy.
Which is what Blaine Moore should have been doing last night, and he didn't. All he had to do was wait for Shepard to turn and look the other way before he smacked Bonin, but he didn't. At center ice, here's McAlpine. Out to Justin McHugh, who gets it in over the line. Spencer takes it away, plays it out. McAlpine plays it right back in. Jim Carey leaves it behind the net. Lost it behind the net. Nielsen digs it out. Centering pass is blocked. Back to the line. Eric Means lets it go in a hurry, but Kotloff makes the interception. Outlet pass to Max Williams. He's hauled down. There'll be no penalty call. Well, whether he was slipped or hauled down, I'm not sure. But he was slipping between two defenders. And we get an icing call against the Badgers.
Yeah, I don't believe he was hooked down at all. He just fell going over that blue line. He was trying to get that little extra jump. Sometimes you pick up onto your toes to try and pull away. Eric Means was coming in from the one side. You'll watch right here. Now, as he's coming right here, you'll see all of a sudden he's going down before the stick even gets to him. McAlpine coming in from the other way. Defense got caught just a little flat-footed there, a little bit too wide. You got to come a little bit closer together and make certain you don't get that. You get caught in a position where that guy can break between both of you, as it happened there.
Max Williams, a two-year letter winner after this year. He won a letter as a freshman. He's a sophomore from New Jersey. And we perhaps dropped the puck unfairly. We'll line up to do it again. Blaine Moore against Brian Bonin. Bonin held off the scoring sheet last night, although he made a brilliant play at the blue line to get action started in the Wisconsin end, which eventually led to a goal. If they could hand out 3 assists, he would have had one. A blast by Zent. Ooh, that stunned Moan a little bit. He was looking over that shoulder, but made the save on the initial scoring opportunity for the Badgers. I believe that's their first shot.
That was also a good play coming from deep in the Badger zone. You watch the play here as Ellick takes it, makes a long pass across ice. Once again, the pass is right on the stick, enables a shooter to move right into it, take the heavy shot. You can see Moan here looking back. He wasn't quite sure where that was. He knew it was there someplace and able to retrieve it and then get the face off to his right.
Now 16:30 left in the first period. Bonin again and Moore on this face-off, this time to the right of Moan, but they will toss Bonin and bring in Bobby Dustin. Dustin is having an excellent second half of the year. Shot by Ellick comes through a crowd, and Moan makes the save again. There was a lot of traffic out front.
Well, once again, Ellick with that heavy shot coming from that point position, you've got to win the face-off. And you'll watch here, Blaine Moore will take it, pull it right back to the defense, and it's right on the target. That's where you've got to do something with that. And one area where the Gophers are really lax in is being able to win the majority of those face-offs.
Here's Ellick again, right from the same play, but this time it's deflected. It comes back out at center, and Tock shoots it in for Wisconsin. Moan leaves it behind the net. Charlie Wosley's pass is deflected. Now Brian Bonin picks it up. Over to Wosley. Wosley in the right wing corner now, gets it to Bonin. Pass intercepted at center ice. Moore turns around, shoots it in. Treble with the interception. Nice feed to center. Bonin went to pull the trigger, and it was tipped away by Tock. Zent in over the line for Shire. He goes in deep. Andrew Shire centers it, and it comes through everybody. Out to center ice comes Jet Feeblecorn. Spins to drop a pass back. A couple of players collide at the blue line. Brink is offside as a result. And we might have a penalty. We'll tell you about it in a moment.
Icing.
Apparently he didn't cross the red center line.
Now that's going to bring the face-off all the way back. Brian Bonham having a little exchange with some of the Badgers. But cooler heads have prevailed. This is where the discipline sets in also. When you've got the power play, walk away from that, skate away from it. Brian Bonham was the guy who was able to draw the penalty last night on Blaine Moore as he grabbed onto him, and Wisconsin on the power play at the time with less than 5 minutes to go in the game, and Moore swung back at him, took a penalty, took away their power play opportunity, and a chance to tie that game up.
As Tom mentioned, 2 power play goals for the Gophers last night, one by Dustin, the other by Bianchi. Tony is out for this faceoff. Now we're set, I think. And the draw to Minnesota. Here's Eric Means being chased by Mike Strobel. Taken to the wall. That might have been Dewars. Mike Dewars who tracked him down. Out to center ice for Nielsen. Drops it back, and the defenseman, Means, shot it in. Then Means was being checked, got his stick up, and gave a pretty good cross-check that has a Badger player laid out. Caught him right up under the helmet.
Well, he's going to be called for the cross-check, too, as Brian Ritchie makes no hesitation. You'll watch right now. One thing is when you take the shot, you want to protect yourself. You can see Means there with his stick coming up. And most players, when they take that shot, will come up immediately because they know in many cases you're going to be checked.
Yeah. There's a look at Means.
It's a 2-minute cross-checking penalty.
Take a look at it, and you'll see a little more of what led into it.
Yeah. You see how you follow through. As soon as you take that shot, you know the player's coming, so you automatically bring your hands up in a position where you're protected. He did just that. But he was caught by Jamie Spencer, and Spencer appears to be okay.
That jaw might have been slightly out of position, but I think he wiggled it back into shape there. Jamie Spencer, a junior from Carmel, Indiana, missed already a couple of games this year due to injury. So the penalty to Means will equalize things on the ice for the next minute and 4 seconds. Then it'll be a power play for 56 seconds for the Badgers. 0-0 to score here in the first. Badgers control from the faceoff. Here is Chris Tock. Now Rob Granato drops it back for Tock again. Out to Mike Strobel at center ice. And it is picked up by Brink once more. He's turned aside, goes back behind the net. Strobel comes in at him again. Takes him out with a solid check. Has Strobel been off the ice yet in this period?
There's usually one of them out there.
Well, I know, but Mike has been a guy who's been logging all the time. Here he comes back, makes an interception after throwing the check at the other end. Now Strobel with a lead pass for Granato. It goes deep. Brink behind the net. And it's grabbed by Dan Treble. Calpine gets it to center. It's tipped. Brink will elect to dump it in. And in 10 more seconds, the first penalty to Wisconsin for too many men will be over. And then they'll have the power play. Mickey Ellick from behind his own net. Pass deflects over to Tock. And now the Badgers are at full strength. 5-on-4 skating advantage. Blaine Moore shooting. And that loose puck finally slid out of there by Brian Bonin. Jeff Moan gave up a pretty good rebound there. Dustin trying to work it up along the wall. Another 40 on the manpower advantage as you look at the power play numbers. Up on the wall, Zent battles to get it away from McHugh. A check thrown there by Zwackman. Now Zent and Zwackman collide. That was Zent and Bobby Dustin who threw that check, I believe. Now from behind the net, the Gophers regain control and shoot it all the way down. I think we need to give proper credit. That was Justin McHugh, who was throwing the checks at the net, which is at the far end of the rink from our vantage point here. We are behind Jim Carey. Shire at center. Zent gets it in as Eric Means steps on the ice, and it's whistled down at the blue line, offside, as the Badgers brought it in with 12:42 to go in period one.
Badgers having a much stronger first period than we saw here last night, and that was one of the concerns of Coach Jeff Sauer, just saying our team did not have the jump in the first two periods. We allowed Minnesota to play their game. That's not going to happen tonight, and I think we're seeing right now that Wisconsin doing a much better job in the early moments of period number one.
From the face-off, Chris Tucker pushed it in the zone, but the Gophers gained control, and the lead pass by Eric Means too far. They rule the Badgers could have played it out at center ice, so there's no icing. Feeblecorn in to do some forechecking, so is Woog. Now Balkovec has it for the Badgers. His pass picked off by Woog in front of Feeblecorn, and the shot was blocked by Rafalski. Back behind the net. Buss was plastered by Feeblecorn. And here's Rafalski, the defenseman, leading the rush to center. Swept away from him by McAlpine, who takes him right out of the play. Means behind his own net. A very aggressive forecheck by the Badgers. It's Chris Tucker, number 19, in the corner. Finally, Andy Brink from behind the net will set it up. And he's jammed up as he tries to get the pass off. McAlpine back to help. Balkovec centering it, played it to the line, but Rafalski was breaking in, and the puck comes out of the zone. Just a little miscue there. Otherwise, Rafalski would have had a brilliant chance from about 50 feet out. Now the Gophers skate it to center. The lead to Hendrickson. Wrist shot deflected away by Mark Strobel. John Hillman, who is in the lineup tonight, replacing Jesse Bertliot. Hendrickson in for Hillman in front. He tried to redirect it in. Now Checo on a backhand. That's deflected by Kotlops and grabbed by Carey, and the shoving gets intense as Mark Strobel and Jim Hillman are going at it.
Well, Strobel coming back in front of the net as Hillman was standing there. They got the sticks up a little bit, giving each other a shove, and now Mark Strobel going back to Hillman to have a few words. Watch in front of the net as the action unfolds here right now. You see a lot of white uniforms there. All of a sudden, here comes the Gophers on the backhand with Checo, and you see how he's grabbed right here. Hillman being grabbed. And then as the play just kept on going, he responded with a little shove back, and they'll both be called for penalties, probably for roughing.
Yep. That was John Hillman, I think I said, Jim, but John got up out of that. He came up swinging, and they are both gone. Roughing at 8:45.
Strobel for Wisconsin, Hillman for Minnesota.
So with 11:15 to go in the first period, a scoreless first period, we'll have the face-off in the Badger end. Brian Bonnen digging in, as well as Kelly Fairchild. Oh, they're being overly patient now with the drop of this puck. Only Fairchild is tossed. Being in the offensive zone, he's got to get his stick down first. Now up off the wall, it's carried out to center ice. Jamie Spencer trying to get it around Treble. Gets the shot off, a centering pass, and the deflection was batted away by Moe. Right in front again, they score! And the Badgers get the first one of the game.
And that was on the backhand. I believe it's going to be Jamie Spencer who gets credit for it. The one thing we've talked about already is the fact that they are forechecking so well. They're forcing the Gophers into making mistakes. When you've got the jump like that, you know a player's coming behind you, as the Gophers have known here in this first period. They try to have a tendency to move the puck a little bit too quickly without really looking to see where it's going to go, giving it away. And Jeff Bowen didn't have much of a chance there. You can see the pass coming right on front, and Spencer just takes it on the backhand, taking that perfect pass out from the boards, puts it away, and he makes it 1-0 in favor of the Badgers over the Gophers. But a nice play here, too. If you don't have the room to move in here, you keep on staying with your man. You see it coming in behind the net. This is where the Gophers have, but they got kind of crossed here. And all of a sudden, Larson couldn't grab his man.
Left alone just long enough, Spencer was, to backhand it in, his 14th. So he shakes the effects of that Eric Means stick to the jaw long enough to score the goal and make it a 1-0 game. Here comes Bianchi at center, flipping it in. Now Rafalski behind the net. And it's taken away by McHugh at the line, dumped in by Zwackman. Bianchi tried to center, but it's swept away. LaFleur shooting, screened, rebound, and Carey made two great saves, and he holds on. Halfway through the first period, the Badgers lead 1-0.
Well, you watch the shot coming from the point. Minnesota trying to respond after giving up that goal. You see Nielsen with his back to the goaltender. That gives him a better advantage with that stick of being in front of him where he can deflect it. Justin McHugh also coming in from the side, not able to grab onto that loose puck as Jim Carey has been very tough in this first period.
Right after that goal was scored, roughing minors were handed out to Williams, who assisted on the goal, and to Larson of Minnesota, so they're in the box. Spencer's 14th has given the Badgers a 1-0 lead, and now Carey making a glove catch and holding on. Face-off will be coming up to the right of the Badger goaltender.
Very close checking right now between both of these hockey clubs. Wisconsin doing a good job of really taking the body. They're not allowing the Gophers the freewheeling we saw in the first period yesterday. Wisconsin just taking the run at the player, getting in front of him, knocking him down, getting a piece of him, and not allowing the Gophers to keep on moving with that puck.
From the face-off at the line, a drive, Carey the save. A Minnesota player upended in front. That was Nielsen. Here's Dan Woog. He's double teamed up on the corner and can't get control. Now Shire to Zent. Shire was dropped by Nielsen. That might have been the payback. And it comes loose on the near boards. Ellick trying to keep it in. Does. Gets a shot off. Nice block in front by Woog. And a scramble for it again right along the near boards. A near interception by Nielsen, but Shire is there to wrap it in deeper. Moore and Brink behind the net. Moore gets to the puck. In front for Shire. That just failed to click. It came off his skate. Back to center ice, led by Andy Brink. Got it in with a little bit of help from Mickey Ellick. Blaine Moore now. Out to center ice, knocked down by Checo. He has to sweep it away from Matt Buss. Gophers regain control. Play broken up out at center ice by Mike Dewars. They get it in for Tucker. Moan makes the big save. That puck is still loose. Balkovec across to Rafalski. That shot is blocked away. Nice block by Wasley. Checo throwing a hit into Tucker. Treble behind the net. Boy, this has been an all-Wisconsin first period. Bobby Dustin trying to get it out. They have answered the bell here. Buss behind the net, now Dewars. Tucker in the corner with Checo again. Buss takes a hit. He's locked up with a man. It comes rolling loose. Cleared. Balkovec blocks it. Checo uses the glass to try to get it out. Instead, it goes out of the rink. Face off in the Gopher end.
Wisconsin doing a great job. As you can tell by the response of the crowd, they enjoy it. The Gophers having problems in their own zone right now. The reason because of that is because they're not skating as well. And what's happening is that Minnesota is kind of backpedaling a little bit here, allowing Wisconsin to take the puck. A nice little move here. Watch the save by Moen. In close, he gets a piece of it. And I'll tell you, that was a good shot all the way in by Tucker, and it comes around the outside here. Now you'll watch as the puck kept on going there, but Wisconsin just doing a great job of keeping the pressure on, not letting Minnesota really control any part of this first period so far.
They have really been intense. And I think the crowd, if it was good last night, it's even better tonight. Bianchi getting ready for this face-off against Kelly Fairchild. Shot's not as lopsided as I thought. Not lopsided at all. The Gophers have 7-5 edge.
I'm surprised with that, but I think the majority of the best chances have come on the Badger side, although Minnesota did have a couple of close in encounters.
If the Badgers have only 5 shots, I bet all 5 of them are inside the paint there in the slot. And Wisconsin leads 1-0 in this game with about 8 minutes to go in period 1. Gophers still unable to get out. Now LaFleur decides to try the other door. Blocked at the blue line by Mark Strobel. And apparently hopped over the bench. Or over the boards into the bench. We'll have a face-off.
You know, you look at this building, a lot of familiar names have come out of this area when the likes of hockey. You talk about, of course, Bob Johnson, Badger Bob Johnson, the longtime coach here, who has this saying underneath the scoreboard here where it says a great day for hockey. Anytime you talked to Bob, that was the first thing that came out of his mouth was, hey, it's a great day for hockey.
Schlockman behind the net. To LaFleur, not a Nielsen. Out at center ice, brought in by McHugh. Nice centering pass, and Bianchi was tied up. Couldn't get to it. Mark Strobel had him knotted up. Kotlop's playing it ahead. Mark Strobel now a right side pass deflects away from Max Williams, who they tried to find McHugh at center, who was doing a little cherry picking back there. Now LaFleur. Fairchild was upended away from the puck, and play continues. Schlockman has a pass rejected. It bounds out to center. Williams will shoot it in. Now LaFleur once more. I don't know if the Gophers have had a sustained rush out of their own end all period. Kotlop's now playing it ahead. Brought in deep by Tompkins, centered right in front. And that loose puck finally covered up by the goaltender Moan. Badgers leading 1-0 on Midwest Sports Channel. Available at Target stores throughout Greater Minnesota. That means you can get in for just $2.50. Coupons can be redeemed at the St. Paul Civic Center anytime the week of this year's tournament, March 9 to March 12.
Well, I had mentioned Badger Bob's name before, but there's also some other players here. Mark Johnson, of course, Bob's son, Dean Talifas, Mike Deeds, Craig Norwich, but also players still in the NHL. We have Chris Chelios, who's at Chicago, and Tony Granato at L.A., Paul Ranheim at Calgary, Curtis Joseph at St. Louis, Scott Mellonby at Edmonton, Sean Hill at Anaheim as we look at the banner, where Bob's name is bigger than his saying. And he was over here.
From the face-off back at the line to Mickey Ellick, rolled off his stick. And in the corner, here's Dustin. Out to center ice, lead pass. He'll have to hustle for this one. Ellick bumping Means off the play. It goes in deep. Puts it right in the goal crease. It rolls up on the net. They get a quick whistle as Larson and Tock shove away at one another. Now Ellick steps in to mediate. Right. And things finally settle down.
And Chris Tock should know enough to get out of there. His dad, Mike, is a referee in the WCHA. I'm sure he's been told before, don't get into those things. You watch how it starts right here. The puck's at the side there, and you can see Larson trying to get to it. Tock doing the job he's supposed to do. That's move the players out of there. Let the goaltender take the puck, and he does that, and Larson did not like it. Respond with a little push there. No penalties on the play.
6:31 to go in the period, and now they're going to wait for the center iceman to get in here while Greg Shepard is having a long-range conversation with the Minnesota bench. Granato against Hendrickson. A Granato name, quite a name here in Madison, too.
Sure is.
With Tony, who's now with the Kings. Don played on their 1990 championship team. Tock at center. They got it in to Tompkins, and now an interception by John Hillman. The Gophers come back. Hillman at the line, shooting it in. Jim Carey behind the net. And Tompkins, nice pass to get it to Granato. Out for Mike Strobel, that fails to click. And now McAlpine again, or at least Wasley. Tipped in by Hendrickson. The Gophers will change all 5 players on the go. Under 6 minutes to go in the first period. Andy Brink at center. And they regroup once more in their own end. Biebelkorn fires it in over the line. Shire was checked. Rafalski gets it back to Shire. He breaks in, ran into a crowd, ran into a check. Both players go down. The officials right there watching him as play comes up ice. Now here's Balkovec playing it up off the wall, and they're nearly going to go. It's Shire and Dan Woog.
Well, they were tangled up behind the play. The referee was watching them, and they got up giving each other a little shot back and forth. Woog tried to get away. Shire knocked him down again, and then they came together, and we got penalties going against both players, which is the correct call. They're both guilty of something. You watch Woog coming back in here right now. He kind of wraps them up a little bit, and then they just hang on to each other, and then they'll both go down to the ice. So they get hit all the way through, and then get there, grab on, pull them down. And look, now look, you can't tell me Richie didn't see that. He had to. But moves in to stop any further action taking place, and so coincidental penalties will be called at 14:32.
The way the crowd was reacting, I thought Dan Woog had done something. So Shire is gone. Woog is gone. So both teams lose an offensive threat on this one. Of course, Shire leads the league in scoring, but Dan Woog is on a 4-game scoring streak with 6 points.
Shire not very happy in the penalty box. That's the evil stare. We've seen those before.
Yeah, not a lot of love lost between Andrew Shire and the entire Gopher team.
Badgers leading 1-0. This is the only time this year that the Badgers have led the Gophers.
That's a good point. Minnesota jumped to big leads by 2 and 3 goals. The first at Mariucci Arena and the second at Target Center back in January. Well, I got a feeling this game's going to last a while, the way these face-offs are going.
I think you're right. I may need a chair for this one.
If you sit in a chair, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Now we got penalties going to be called. Beeblecorn's going to go, and I believe also Jason Zena's going to go.
Well, you saw the jostling at the edge of the circle, and that's Greg Shepard. It's the kind of nonsense he won't put up with early in a game. Beeblecorn and Zent. This is the third set of coincidental penalties in the game. And coincidentally, the last 4 of them called at 14:32. There they are at the top of the screen. Rap. What'd they give him?
Delay of game.
Oh, that's the embarrassing penalty. Isn't it? Would you rather go for roughing? Something manly like that instead of delay a game. Badgers with a 1-0 lead. The goal by Spencer. 5 minutes left here in period number 1. And we lose a puck. We'll gain a face-off again.
Well, another sellout crowd here last night, 8,644, which is capacity. The same here tonight. These 4 teams, or these 2 teams in the 4 games they played, then 43,592 fans over those 4 games. A lot of support on both sides.
A lot of popcorn.
You bet it is. And a lot of red jerseys and sweaters here in Madison.
Badgers with a home ice record of 10-5 this year. And Minnesota will set up from behind their own net. They whip it out to center ice. Deflected back in. And still not out of the zone. Now to the corner for Williams. He's checked by McAlpine. And it's loose at the side. Moan knocks it away. Finally, the Gophers gain control. Still can't get it out, but at least they still have possession. McAlpine hauls it to center. They wrap it in. Bianchi waits. He centers it. The shot. Carey the save. A big rebound. And it's batted out of the crease. Rafalski had a glove on it to knock it away, but never covered up. And the play was good all the way around. Finally, Wisconsin shoots it down. That's as close as Minnesota has gotten. Wosley gets it ahead to the line. Now it's carried out by Bonin, bringing it in, weaving right into the middle, centering it. Carey makes a tremendous save on Dave Larson, and he holds on. What a rush by Bonin to set it all up.
Well, Minnesota coming back here very strongly and getting some good opportunities.
We'll be right back.
It was Minnesota's first chance. You'll watch the shot coming right here. But look at Carey, able to make the save. But all of a sudden, here comes McHugh. He gets a piece of it. It gets caught in the skate. He can't control it. Comes right back out. Well, Minnesota came right back in again. Had another good chance, but cannot put it in. But they have picked up their tempo a little bit.
At the line, Wosley shoots. That hits Hendrickson. Kept alive by Checo. He's hammered to the wall hard by Tucker. And back out at center, the Gophers regroup. This is Wosley. Lost it. Williams with her bus with a shot, and it goes into the corner. Checo dropped Tucker. Play goes on. To center ice comes Treble. Gets it in for Checo, and then he lost it. Tucker at the blue line, but the goal has come loose. And we get the whistle, and we'll get things reset.
Checo coming down that right wing position. Mark Strobel staying right with him. Just taking him right into the net and knocking it off of its magnets, so that'll get a stoppage of play. This has been a tough first period physically because the Gophers have not been skating as well as we saw them last night, and they've taken a lot of hits, but you got to give Wisconsin a lot of credit because they come out with that little extra jump here in the first period.
Yep.
They've been playing the body a little bit more, and now Minnesota's been able to hold them to just one goal, and now if you can do that, you don't have a great period, you can come back and say, okay, guys, that wasn't our best period. Let's see what we can do in the next period. Jeff Sauer, the coach here, looking at a moment ago, I think a lot more pleased with the effort he's getting tonight than what he saw last night in period number 1.
Yeah, you don't see Jeff getting as upset as he was last night after the game. Here's Ellick now in front of the net. LaFleur, a screen shot deflected by Bonin, but it comes to the corner. Bonin looking for Dustin, that failed to click. LaFleur trying to keep it alive, couldn't do it. Here comes Granato, great pass. Whoa, just a bit too far for Mike Strobel. He is ridden out of the play by Zwackman, a good defensive play by Zwackman. And Dustin lays it around looking for Bonin, but the Badgers are winning the races to the puck. That time it was Tompkins, number 25, just a freshman. He is from Minnetonka, but played at least 2 years of high school hockey with Hopkins. This is still Tompkins battling for it. And we wait. Now it's cleared. Nope, not quite. Finally, the Gophers get it. Bonin. Outlet pass a bit too far for Larson. Elliott clearing it away. Cleared it deep. There's going to be no icing here as Zwackman will go back for the puck. Zwackman behind the net. 2:20 to go in the period. McHugh. Pass in the skates. Nielsen comes back to help out. Finds McHugh. I tell you, the Gophers haven't had many men open to take passes. Part of that, of course, you got to skate to get yourself open. But it seems that there are 2 Badger players around a Minnesota player every time. So they're winning the races to the open spaces and to the pucks. Now under 2 minutes in the period. Bounces loose to the wall. McAlpine shooting, and it skips all the way through. Now Nielsen collides with Fairchild. Delayed penalty on the Badgers. And the whistle goes when Carey apparently was knocked over because no one really had control here. Greg Shepard is going to be calling penalties. He's got 2 of them, however. A checking from behind and a cross check. I saw 2 signals. First man going to the box is Mako Balkovec. There's a look at him, or he. And McHugh is going to go. So those will be even. And the 4th time that we have even penalties. Coincidental penalties at 18-14. I'm not sure which player got the cross check and which got the checking from behind.
The coincidental penalties.
All right, McHugh gets the checking from behind penalty, and Balkovec the cross check. There's a look at Justin McHugh,
For Wisconsin, number
who also hails from Minnetonka but played for Mound West Tonka.
for cross-checking.
And Doug Woog, I'm sure, will be making some adjustments for period number 2. Balkovec is going to head off. I think both players are going to have to head off because there's less than 2 minutes in the period. And when there's not enough time for them to serve their penalties, they're sent to the dressing room. So McHugh is now gone. And as soon as we get the gate closed, we'll be ready for the face-off to the right of Jim Carey. Dan Woog in for Minnesota. Blaine Moore for the Badgers. Draw to Wisconsin. Kotlops behind his net. Now Zent in the corner to Mark Strobel. Feeblecorn with the interception. Played it in deeper to Woog. He's hammered to the wall hard. In the circle, Feeblecorn waits and shoots, and then he shot it high. McAlpine, he's tied up with Zent. The Gophers hang on to it, then they're bumped off the puck. Physical game by the Badgers, who weren't playing nearly this physical last night. Shire's drop pass taken away by Feeblecorn. He uses the glass to get it out. It'll go all the way down, and it will roll. Yeah, they're going to wave it off, saying Kotlops could have played it, and I think that was a good call. Sometimes you anticipate that icing and take it for granted the whistle's going to go, but look at how quickly the Badgers come right back. Shire whacks at it, then it's knocked away. Mark Strobel waits, shoots, a save by Moan. That puck is loose, and finally they get the whistle. Well, I'll tell you that the the washout of the icing call did not catch the Badgers napping at all. They came right down the rink and fired a good low shot on Moan. Oh, that one was knocked away as he was reaching for it. He was in a terrible spot right there, flat on his belly and stretched to the max, and was going to have just a terrible time getting back up to make a save, but got some help from a teammate who was able to guide that puck into him. 50 seconds remaining in the first period. And now we have a little bit of last-minute jockeying, trying to get a line change in. Fairchild line comes out for Wisconsin with Spencer and Max Williams. Brian Bonnen is out there for the Gophers. Dustin and Dave Larson with him. And the draw. Rockman behind the net. Dustin flipping it ahead. Ellick wraps it right back to center. Dustin dumping it in. Here's Talk to take it away. And there is the time left in period one. Blocked at the lines. Walkman didn't get all of it. Dustin shooting. Carey, a big save. And here late in the period, Jim Carey has faced some point-blank chances from in close on the Gophers. Now this Badger rush is shut down, but they maintain possession in the zone. A shot goes behind the net. Great opportunity again. And as that puck comes loose, we get a whistle with just 11 seconds left. Jeff Moan has found himself scrambling at times. And that last rush, that last scoring opportunity, was a perfect example. And that great chance for Max Williams caught perhaps a piece of the stick of Moan on its way up because it deflected far away. Maybe it actually just hit the crossbar. It looked like it changed possession. We get the faceoff out at center, and Rafalski comes back for it. He likes to rush ahead, and that's twice now he has been under-led. And the clock will wind down. The period will come to an end with the puck in the Badgers zone, and the Badgers holding a 1-0 lead in this game on a goal scored on a backhand shot by Jamie Spencer 9 minutes and 3 seconds into the first period. Well, we will take a break, and our intermission will begin here at the Dane County Coliseum. And joining Tom Reed down at ice level will be the junior from Grand Rapids, Kelly Fairchild. It's the Badgers 1, the Golden Gophers 0.